Chapter 2.2, using variables to describe patterns. Okay, let's jump into an example right away. Here is a variable usually it's a letter in italics, okay? It's a symbol to represent some type of number. In this case, we're representing any number of rides. So take a look at our table of values here. Number of rides on the left and the cost to go on those rides. So if I went on one ride, it cost me $7. If I went on 2 rides, it would have cost me $8. Okay, assume we're talking about like rides at the P&E. All right, so the question states, write an expression using a variable, okay, to describe this pattern. Use a variable to describe this pattern from number of rides to cost. Okay, let's get started. So obviously we have to use a variable. We're gonna use n here. And we have to get from 1 to 7. That's the pattern. So let's just use our heads. Simple mathematics. 1 plus what is 7? Plus 6. You're correct. Okay. How about here? 2 to 8. Plus 6 again. Okay, one more time. 3 to 9. Exactly, plus 6. So we know our pattern is plus 6. That's our pattern. Now we just have to use a variable to describe that pattern. So how we do that is number of rides plus 6 equals our cost. That's the relationship. Now we have to write that using a variable. So let's see, n represents any number of rides. N plus what will give us our cost? Just like we said before, plus 6. So this is our expression. This is how we describe our pattern using a variable. It is n, which we said before is any number of rides, okay, any one of these numbers, plus 6 will give us our cost. In here it's a hidden plus 6 to go from here to here. Now that we know this is our expression, okay, that's an expression, we can use this to predict the future. For example, if I want to know how much it's going to cost to go on a 5th ride, 5 rides, all I have to do is put the number of rides for n, the variable. Remember, the variable, it's a symbol that represents whatever you choose. So we chose it to represent any number of rides. So any number of rides, I choose 5. Randomly chose it. Okay, so instead of n plus 6, I change it to the number I want, which is 5. 5 rides. That'll give me my cost. Okay? So 5 plus 6, nice and easy. That is 11. So our cost in dollars is 11. So we can write it here. $11. Okay, we can check. Go back here. 5 plus 6 is 11. We can also check going this way. These numbers are going up by 1s. So 9, 10, yeah, goes up by 1. So we're good. Always in math, you can check your answer before your teacher does, because there's always one right answer. For this lesson, all you gotta know is a couple things. Variable is a letter, usually italicized, and it's a symbol that represents whatever you need it to. So in this case, we want it to represent any number of rides. Okay, it's used often to describe patterns. In the future, it's going to be used in algebra. Now, when you use n plus a number, use a variable to describe a pattern, it's called an expression. Okay, it's not called an equation because there's no equal sign. If there was an equal sign, then it's an equation. Okay, but here there's no equal sign, so it's not a repeat, not an equation. Okay, expression. It's expressing something. It's not equaling anything. Okay, it's expressing the pattern. It's like another word for describe. All right, that's 2.2. Stay tuned for 2.3.